Hello, friends. Welcome to another business podcast with my friend Matthew. Matthew, what are we going to learn today? How are you, first of all?
Yeah, I'm good, Johnny. Thank you. This is podcast number 3 for us today. Now we're on a pod marathon, but today, this one in particular, I'm excited about because it's very interesting. Business idioms.
Wow, business idioms. So, idioms in itself, no, it's already a challenge for many of our listeners, no. So, what are we talking about when we talk about an idiom? Well, the idiom is a group of words that is expressed in a fixed order that has a particular meaning that is different from the meanings of each word on its own, right? So then, just we might have two words, no, but we cannot just translate it directly because it has a different meaning in itself. But idioms will help you, dear listener, to feel more confident in English for different reasons. For example, number one, you will be able to understand native English speakers as they will use these idioms in a natural way. And these idiomatic expressions are also part of our day to day conversations, and they are very common, even in the business world. And by understanding all those odd sounding phrases that sometimes are a little bit odd, you will be able to follow the conversation with ease. But what is the second reason why uh, our listeners should learn idioms, Matthew?
It's an important reason because we're able to express yourself in a similar way as you do in your native language, which allows your personality to come out. You can speak freely, and also I'm sure you'd agree, Johnny, and you must have experience because you speak excellent English and you're a native Spanish speaker. You can just transmit ideas really quickly, can't you, with an idiom? So maybe if you were to try and explain something, you need these lots of sentences, but you just say this idiom and everybody knows what you
Mm,
want to say.
that's right. So let's start. Amigo, just can you tell us the first idiom that we are going to talk about today?
So number one is learn the ropes. Learn the ropes. You need to learn the ropes. What does it mean? Well, it means you need to learn a new skill or maybe a new job. And this idiom comes from sailing. So sailors would have to learn how to tie different knots or how to put up the sails to bring them down. And that's where this idiom comes from. Learn the ropes. A couple of examples to help us see this idiom in context. For example, as a professional, you constantly need to learn the ropes to do well in your career. Okay. He still needs to learn the ropes, but he's got great potential. So it's all this about the idea of learning a skill, getting experience, feeling comfortable, learn the ropes.
Wow, very good, excellent. So, another one. I think this second one, I think we are very familiar with this, no? With the majority of our listeners, to be on the same page. Uh, the origin is attributed to a choral singing when all singers had to be on the same page to be able to sing all together the same song. Oh, that makes some sense. No? So the meaning to understand each other and agree. So, for example, no, in a meeting, in a business meeting, no, before we begin the discussion, I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. No? Or, for example, I have great connection with Matthew. I always feel that we are on the same page. You know? So that could be another way or another expression. Matthew, another one.
Okay, number 3, Johnny, is in a nutshell. In a nutshell. Okay, what does this mean? Well, the idea is you can't fit much in a nutshell. No, it's a very small space. So we have to condense our idea to the main point so that it's small and easy to understand. And so maybe a person begins the idea by saying, okay, well, look, in a nutshell, I need more money, for example.
Mm,
Okay, so that's the idea. We understand it's this point. A few more examples to help us with this one. She put the matter in a nutshell. Okay, right. In a nutshell, our business is a success. Okay, so it's just a great way to make a simple point really clearly. Johnny, what's our next idiom?
Well, our next idiom, it's for our lovers of baseball. No, to touch base. No, maybe you guessed already that to touch base is in connection with the runner in baseball who must touch the base on which he's standing before running to the next one. No, so in business, before taking an important action, you often touch base to contact with your partners or with someone else. The meaning of this one, it's briefly make or renew contact with someone. Okay, maybe doing an update or have a quick conversation with someone. An example, no, I just wanted to touch base and make sure that you haven't changed your mind, about our meeting. Or another expression could be, I just wanted to quickly touch base with you. Did you get my email? So then it's a nice and easy to use idiom. Okay, well, we have another one. Matthew.
Yes, our next one, Johnny. This is me and you today in the pod. We're trying to beat the clock, and I think we're doing it.
Yes.
Beat the clock. What does it mean? Well, it means we got to finish something before the time runs out, before the time limit is reached. Perhaps you've got a deadline at work, and you have to beat the clock to reach that deadline. An example. Although he's often late in the mornings, he somehow always manages to beat the clock and finish his task before anyone else. So that's the idea, to get something done before the time limit.
Very good. Fantastic. So I know our listeners love our role plays, Matthew. So, hey, this time you're going to be the manager. Matthew, just
okay, Johnny, thank you. I was looking forward to this.
Let's start.
Okay. Good morning, Johnny. How was your weekend?
Hey, hi, sir. Hi, manager. It was great. Thanks for asking. I actually spent some time studying the company's process to learn the ropes.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to have you on board. Speaking of which, I wanted to make sure that we're on the same page regarding the new project. Have you had a chance to take a look at our new project?
Yes, I have. In a nutshell, we need to deliver the project by the end of the month and ensure that it meets all the requirements stated in the scope.
Exactly. And we've got a lot of work to do. But you know what? I'm confident that we can beat the clock. So listen, let's touch base later this afternoon and discuss the progress you've made.
All right. Well, fantastic, Matthew. Well, I think this was very natural, right?
Yeah.
Of course, if we are not familiar with the idioms, we wouldn't include them, but this makes the conversation very fresh, right?
Yeah.
Just very natural. Very good. So I think we can continue with a few more business idioms. So I think we have another 4. And let's start with the next one. Matthew, would you like to mention the first one, please?
Yeah, certainly, Johnny. This one, like you say, really is focused on business. And the idiom is, let's get down to business. Get down to business. Okay. What does that mean? Well, it means that we're going to start the serious matter of business, perhaps negotiating a contract, or we need to finalize the details. And also with this idiom, it can also carry the feeling that, the time is going. Maybe, we're reaching the deadline. So let's get down to business. Let's finish the business.
Very good. In Spanish, we have a similar one, no? Ponernos manos a la obra. So it's a similar one. Good. Fine. So we have another one. This is interesting. Show of hands. Show of hands. Well, this mainly means to raise hands to vote, no? Against or for something. So when we say, let's have a show of hands, if we hear that in a meeting, that means that we have to raise our hands just to support the proposal. And then we have another one.
Yeah, this is everybody's favorite one, Johnny. I know. I think for the comerciales, for the salespeople, this is the one they like. Let's close the deal. Close the deal. And normally it's a positive feeling with this one, Johnny. If you've closed the deal, it means you've been successful. You've been able to sell the product, or you have an agreement. The person has signed the contract. You've closed the deal. Good. Oh, and another positive one, Johnny.
Yeah, very positive. I think everybody likes this one too. No, a win-win situation. A win-win situation. Well, the meaning, a situation where everyone, every outcome is a good outcome for both parts. So I think we will see this one also in a role play that we have prepared, and maybe just we can start. I will start, Matthew, just with the first character. So good morning, everyone. Let's get down to business. As you all know, we are in the final stages of negotiations with our new supplier.
Yes, we've been working hard to make sure we get the best deal possible.
That's right, Matthew. And I think we've reached a win-win situation. The supplier is happy with the terms, and we will get the quality and quantity we need to at a good price.
That's great news, Johnny. So are we ready to close the deal?
Almost. Before we do, let's have a show of hands to make sure everyone's on board with agreement. So we raise hands.
And I think...
So, excellent. It looks like we are ready to close the deal. Thanks for your hard work, everyone. Well, that would be the end of our role play. I missed my part, Matthew.
Oh, don't worry, Johnny. I think we were all looking at the hand raised, just trying to count those hands. Hey.
Very good. Fantastic. So, well, I think our friends have learned a lot about business idioms. So, Matthew, just to conclude, if our friends want to learn more about idioms or any other English business matter, where can they go?
Yeah, you've got to get across to the only website where you can really have fun while you're enjoying learning, and that is www.campus.trainlang.com. And we always like to highlight something, Johnny, from the website. I don't know. Let me tell you, my favorite. I think it has to be the master classes that you can see with Rodrigo. There's a few of those in the course, so look out for those. What do you like about it, Johnny? What's your favorite part of the webpage?
Well, the webpage has many good things, but I agree with you. I think just those masterclass that we have with Rodrigo and with others are really great. Yeah. So, amigos, that's nice. Good to see you all. Hope to see you in another podcast or listening to our podcast. So thank you very much for joining us today. Bye for now.
Goodbye. See you later.